What's happening, guys? Cowboy here, and lately I've had a lot of people asking the big question, when are the free roam videos coming? Where's the free roam? We want the free roam. So, in general, I'm going to be moving free roam videos primarily to live streams now because, I can't very well work on the walkthrough on live streams since I need to save that for YouTube, obviously. But despite that, because there has been an overwhelming number of people asking for it, I did decide I'm going to bring you guys at least one free roam video finally. So I'm at to a point where I have all the housing missions done, so we're going to go around, knock out the viewpoints on the map, look to pick up some social clubs if we find them, and since it's post-release, I can actually kind of do a, give like a mini review of the game as well, since the review embargo has ended. So, in general, I'm really enjoying the game. I mean, obviously, that should be pretty apparent from the walkthrough so far, but let's go into like a simple likes and dislikes thing. So something I like is the customization this time around is fantastic. I mean, if you guys and while everything is kind of similar, you're gonna have a hood, you're gonna have a chest piece, you're gonna have your belt. Like there's a pretty similar design with almost all the gear. There are nice variations. So the aesthetic quality of being able to change up how your look is and get it just the way you want it, I think that's really cool. Especially because they introduced the co-op this time around. You can really look completely different from your friend. Like obviously you both still look like assassins, but I have like buckles and ribbons and all kinds of shit around because I'm wearing like the Master Bourgeois gear, and my other buddy's wearing like the Musketeer gear. So he's decked out in, like metal and chain link, and it's really cool that you can customize your assassin to that extent. And not only the gear, but the weapons too. I mean, it's obvious that I have absolutely fallen in love with the long weapons, with the the spear and the halberd types, and that's pretty much all I use now. But that's something that's really cool to me. I mean, when we were playing yesterday, we had two people using long swords. I was using the spears, and each type of weapon has its strength and its weaknesses. Like spears are better against heavy style enemies, whereas the long sword is kind of like your overall general. Whereas the heavy weapons are good against a lot of enemies, but they're terrible against like fast enemies. So it's really cool to see that level of difference in the weapons. So while you do have a preference, obviously, of what kind of weapon you prefer the most, there's actually qualities about each weapon type that make it unique. So definitely something I'm really enjoying, and I gotta wait for this conflict to end before I can sync up. Something I don't like, load times. The load times are brutal this time around, and I mean, I'm playing on Xbox One, and from what I've heard, PS4, the load times are just as long, if not longer. I don't have any reports on the load times for PC, but I'd imagine you'd have to have a pretty crazy rig to avoid them outright. So, like I said, I can't really attest to that, but I mean, either way, I've always played Assassin's Creed on console. I feel like it's a console game, So, let me check here real fast. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what the damn social houses look like. So I remember I found one, and I was just like running along in the streets when I found it, and I was like, ooh, social club. And I picked it up the second I found it, and I haven't been able to find them on the map since. And I'm not sure if they're just not marked on the mini-map and you just kind of run by them and they'll show up, or what the deal is, but really got to start hunting those down. So yeah, load times, definitely something I'm not a fan of, but inevitably it's something that's going to occur as games get more and more advanced. You just kind of have to deal with it, sadly. Things I like. The multiplayer this time around, fantastic. Really can't praise it enough. In the previous titles, the competitive multiplayer, it was fun, but I always felt like it was more of a gimmick, It was just something they kind of slapped onto the back end to keep you satisfied and try to force some longevity into the game. And like while it was entertaining, it never really had that like long-lasting multiplayer appeal, because it focused on just like finding people and killing them, and you know, in parts, like, sometimes you'd have really good matches where people were, like, on top of their assassinations, like A-game style. You know, people were, you know, stealthing through and killing and disguise kills, but a lot of the time you'd run into people that they literally just sprint as fast as possible from target to target. If someone was chasing them, they just smoke bomb and book it away. And while that type of play style was effective to some extent, it kind of broke the whole immersion and kind of went against the concept of Assassin's Creed. And in my opinion, I felt like you'd pretty consistently run into people doing that, and I felt like it made the multiplayer kind of boring when you'd see that. So, in retrospect, the fact that this time around you're playing cooperatively with friends, and you know, you're open world, you're doing missions, and you're all fighting guards at the same time. So, you know, I mean, and especially after actually getting to try the co-op yesterday with some of the guys that I got to meet out at San Francisco, you know, it was really cool because we were coordinating. You know, we had like one person was swinging up, one person was going to the left, and we had our whole plan laid out for how we wanted to approach it. When somebody would go down, someone would run over and get him while the other person was distracting, and I felt like it really pulled together the co-op nicely. It made it a lot of fun to play. We were, you know, laughing and joking the whole time, and it was great. Like, I didn't think I could have that much fun with Assassin's Creed multiplayer, so that was really awesome to see. On to something bad about it. I feel that there is definitely some patching that needs to be done, and I know when we received the game from Ubisoft, at least, they told us to hold off on posting multiplayer content until day one because there was going to be a patch. I don't think the patch has come through yet. At least I don't remember downloading anything this morning when I booted up the game. But I know we did 3 co-op missions. We probably spent about 2 hours doing co-op together. And the first 2 missions, man, there were just glitches, like real bad glitches. Like, there was one point where my guy was like bugging out, and he would draw his weapon, but he would never actually attack. So the enemies were just focused on Gabe and John, and my guy just stood there with his spear raised and enemies circling him, and I was like, alright, I guess I'm playing the human shield. So that kind of sucked. And then on a different mission we did, which was a really cool mission, there's like a kind of tournament thing that happens part of the way through it, and basically the game like bugged out. Like, there was probably about 10 different enemies that I was fighting, and meanwhile John and Gabe couldn't see those enemies at all. So like, I go down, John's trying to get me up, and then at one point he gets just barraged by like 3 bullets and goes down, has no idea where they came from. So, like I said, stuff like that, that's stuff that can and will likely be patched, but you know, for the time being, definitely something that Ubisoft's going to have to address. So I had to put something in there, right? Back on to good stuff. I feel like, especially this time around, really early, the city is opened up to you. You know, in the previous titles, it's kind of like, you know, you could only extend to a certain point. Like, once you started hitting a certain point of the city, you would begin to desynchronize. And you're always like, damn it, you know, I guess I gotta wait till later to explore this. That kind of sucks. And that always kind of bummed me out, you know, because I wanna get my exploring on early on. I want to get all my stuff unlocked, get all my waypoints. I want to see all my missions on the map. Oh man, these guys are giving it to me good. But and this time around, you know, once you get out of Versailles, you pretty much have free reign of Paris. You know, you go wherever you want, and understandably, some of the areas, enemies are likely going to be way too hard for you to take on. Like, as you can see right there, those guys, they did quite a bit of damage, and I'm probably dead here. Ooh, house survived. Very nice. But, you know, I like that this time around, the city, like, as soon as you get to Paris, it's open. You can go wherever you want, and you know, there's going to be some areas where you might very well get killed, but, you know, you want to go there, that's a risk that you're willing to take. And I think that's really cool that they left it up to the player this time to be like, alright, you know, I want to go here, I'm ready to go here. And even if the enemies are too high level, you know, stealth your way around, don't get found, and you should be fine. So, I enjoy that they gave us that freedom this time around. Making my way over. Trying to think if there's anything bad I can say about that. Yeah, no real bad counterpoint to that one. That's just something that's nice. Another good point this time around, I definitely really like the the little world missions that'll pop up, you know, they're pretty frequently, and it'll just be like, you know, tackle the beggar or kill the criminals or whatever the case is. But it's cool because you're just, you know, running around, and it's just little stuff that happen in the environment that you'll see that you can get involved in. Like right now, we just see Kill the Crooks just popped up over there, so we're gonna go get involved in that real fast. And I think that it's kind of cool that these missions will just pop up as you're playing the game, and you're just like, all right, you know, let me run by and take care of this real fast. And on that note, on a similar note, I should say, the combat this time around, I feel is a lot better. Whereas, you know, the previous titles, at the end of the day, you could pretty much just, you know, you could spam your way through anything and just be like, dead, dead, counter kill, counter kill, counter kill. Like, no one was really a challenge. I feel that the combat this time around has definitely taking a step up. I mean, enemies are a lot harder to kill, and especially when you're unupgraded. Like, if you are at 1 diamond in terms of gear loadout, and you're trying to take on 5 diamond enemies, like, I mean, there's been times where I've gotten just 1 shot, and I'm like, oh shit, like, did I really just get 1 shot? Oh my god, no! I just climbed that whole thing for nothing. But, yeah, so, like, you know, the game, it really emphasizes, like, you know, if you're gonna hang in combat, upgrade your shit. Like, you're not gonna be able to just sneak by slacking unless you can perfect parry everything and perfect dodge every single bullet that comes your way. There's a good chance you're gonna die if you get into open combat. And I like that this time around, you know, because that was one of the things, like, I mean, back in AC4 Black Flag, you know, I remember doing streams where I was, like, shit-faced drunk off mead, and I'd like turn off the HUD, and I was still just countering and murdering enemies left and right. Like, we would jump onto a frigate and take on like the entire frigate solo, and just be like, yeah, you can't get me, bitches, I'm a pirate. And while it was absolutely awesome to do and a ton of fun, you know, at the same time, it kind of spoke to the level of difficulty. You're like, all right, well, you know, this isn't very hard. We need something harder. And is this a social club? Yes! We found one! Must get the social clubs! Social clubs are pretty significant increases to your income, so we are running straight over there. Don't mind your throat, you don't need that. Oh, get down. Oh no! You can see right there, like, I got hit once before I could even hit the button to heal up again. Dude was just like, boom, stabbed me right through the chest, took me out. Told you, man, they don't fuck around this time around. These guys are no joke. But yeah, here we can see, like I was saying earlier, the loading times, man. Loading times are brutal. That's definitely one of the faster loading times I've seen. I'm curious what they'll... Okay, so they will show up. Oh, wow. I have a couple of these. How have I been missing these? We need to go grab some social clubs. I feel like that's another thing that's really nice, is they brought back the income like that. I mean, and you know, Black Flag, it was, once you got your ship fully upgraded, it was pretty easy to make money just by selling the excess resources that you would bring in from other ships. And especially, you know, once you got the stronghold upgraded, you don't have to worry about that anymore. But the stronghold wasn't really an income source in Black Flag. You know, the closest relative is that I can think of is back with AC2, where you upgraded the full, you know, the full mansion, and you upgraded the town, and you had, like, you know, the blacksmith, the art gallery, all that stuff. And it got to the point where every time you'd visit the town, you were pulling in like 30,000. And I really liked that system because, you know, one, you were upgrading your own estate, which made it like super baller looking, and then on top of that, the money that you were sinking in was being returned to you. So I thought that was a great way, because, you know, it created an investment system. And I think it's awesome that they brought that back, because I thought it was probably one of the best things before, and knowing that they have a system like that in place again, I love it. That's my favorite way to make money in the game. I'm like, hell yeah, I will, you know, like this is 10,000. Alright, yes, I will gladly drop 10,000 on that. And I hope it shows how much the increase is, because I want to say I was at like 52.84 getting pulled in every time. And I'd imagine this will probably give me at least 1,000 plus increase in my currency, so. Now if I look at the map, are these all little... Yeah, these are social club missions. I wonder if these also will also improve it. Let's see. Oh no, they're upstairs. I think that's why. Oh, to the top floor. All right, track down and. Do you guys want to see an extortion club mission? We'll grab it in a second. We got the fast travel. Let's see what the other ones are. Track down and assassinate. Defend the funeral procession. Spies operating a heist nearby. Find out. Alright, before we do that, I want to see exactly how much grabbing that social club increased my income source, because that's something I am curious about. I didn't get a solid number on it before because I hadn't been able to find any of them, and now they're popping up left and right. So that's ultimately what we're going to be focusing on. For those curious, I know we're already 16 minutes into the video. We're going to keep this around 30 minutes, but we're going to be going around grabbing social clubs, grabbing the waypoints, getting into combat here or there. Might take on a mission. Hell, might even make it an hour for you guys. I know some of you guys just want to sit and chillax and listen to the soothing sounds of my voice and a smooth, jazzy tone as we play some Assassin's Creed Unity today. Wonderful. Alright, now I'm sounding like Captain Kirk. Stop that. Alright, so let's run inside. Like I said, we're at about 5264, something right around there. Let's, ooh, wrong way. Towards the trophy. Let's see what my income is now. My income is now, we're going to find out in 17 seconds. Woo! New income hype. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy Money Day! So yeah, 6433. So we got just over 1,000 in our income increase, and we can see the grand total is up to 25,000 that this thing can hold now. So by getting all the social clubs on the map, I want to say there's 7. I'd imagine you probably top off somewhere between 10 and 15,000. So actually, I think I am gonna go. Well, actually, with only 6,000, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can buy another social club, and they aren't. There were a bunch up here. Yeah, there's the other social club that I had. That one's renovated. Wait a minute. Oh, there they go. Alright, so they're showing up under all missions. Points of interest, they're not showing up. That's probably why I couldn't see them. I was probably on points of interest. So we're going to head on over to this one next. We add over there. Let's hop. Actually, we'll grab this guy first. Got to get those viewpoints, right? So yeah, I mean, getting these social clubs done. Got to get those knocked out, man. All about the income, and the income's actually like pretty usable this time around. I mean, back in Black Flag, you know, once you upgraded your ship, you were kind of like, what do I do with this money? I bought everything. I remember when I did like the all gear and equipment video, I had something absurd like 500,000 reals just sitting around doing absolutely nothing, and people were like, holy shit, how do you have all this money? And I'm like, I've bought everything. There's nothing else to spend it on. And this time around, you know, you want some of the high-end weapons. They're upwards in the 100,000 range, and it's no joke. I mean, especially when you're playing for about an hour, and an hour is going to pull you in fully maxed out. Because it goes in 20-minute intervals. So after 80 minutes at a fully maxed chest, I'd imagine you're probably pulling in about 50,000. That would be my guess. Where do you think you're going? Get down there. Alright. Head over, hit this waypoint. Another thing that's really nice this time around is that there are a lot of building cut-throughs. And I remember they first really showcased that in, I want to say Assassin's Creed 3. Like, you know, in the cutscenes and whatnot, you saw Connor, like, dipping through windows and jumping over tables and sliding under them. And in reality, like, you know, when you would get into those city chases, I would remember that happening a grand total of, God, I don't know, maybe 10 times through the entirety of the game. Like, it wasn't frequent at all. And, you know, it was a great mechanic to see, but I felt like they just kind of, they're like, hey, look at this cool new thing you can do. By the way, you don't really get to do it all that much. And this time around, man, there are, it's like every other building. There's a building that you can run through or slip through the window or jump over something or under something. And I think the new free roam system definitely supports that as well. And it definitely is a little tricky adjusting to the new free roam system, you know, like knowing when to use your B, when to use your A. Like right now we're kind of derping out, trying to get around this damn thing to find a climbing point. This looks promising, this side. Come on, man, climb up that stained glass. Oh, there we go. Gotta get all the points. All the sync points. There we go. But so, you know, I like the freedom you have when you're navigating within the city to, you know, jump through buildings left or right, shoot through windows, go down the stairs, up the stairs, and it definitely helps to the elusiveness you have. You're able to lose guys a lot easier, I think, because of this. And I definitely think it's needed because, man, there are some times where it's like I have so many dudes that are just like, hey, what's up? We're here to kill you. Like, hordes and hordes of guys. And I'm just like, I don't want to die. And I'm busy running from like 40 guys at once. So, yeah. You get into some situations where it is no joke. And there's an artifact over here. And I need that. I need you to drop down, Mr. Parkour. Yeah, get that. I think those also increase your house's worth. Only slightly, but I mean, all you have to do is walk up to them, you know, so I don't expect him to increase my worth by 1,000 or anything, but I'm trying to think anything else I could really say about the game right now. The puzzles, goddamn, the puzzles. This time around, man, the Nostradamus Enigma, those puzzles are no fucking joke. Like the last one I picked up, and I've been doing these along with Volatile Gabe. We were on Skype till about 1 in the morning working through them, and we got to Jupiter, I believe it was, and you know the puzzle talked about the basically like the like where the daughter of Bourbon once lived, and Bourbon was a like family of royalty in France. So we go over to the house, and I mean, we were on our A game here. You know, we looked up we were researching this shit, we were Googling it, and we found the house, and it's like right by this bridge, and we pulled it up in Google Maps, and it matched up basically like identically to what the overhead map looked like in Unity. And I was like, wow. Like, so for one, the accuracy of the city right there is astounding. Like when you hop to the map view like this and you zoom, like you look up House of Bourbon and in Google Maps, and it's like this house right here, and literally this is exactly what you see in Google Maps. The same freaking curve, the same freaking bridge, the same house. It is unreal. I'm like, damn, yo, Ubisoft is, they are on their freaking A game in terms of historical accuracy of this city. And I mean they are, you know, they're a French company, so I'd hope they would be. So kudos to them on actually following through on that, because that's something that's awesome. That is just awesome. But so anyway, you know, we go over to the house and we're reading through the riddle, and like we check the house, we check the bridge, and we could not find this thing. And we're like, man, motherfucker, where is this puzzle thing? And they don't pull any punches this time around, and there's 18 of them. And you know, just because I'm a completionist with AC games, I know I'm going to do all of them. Like, I don't have a choice. I just have to do those. And awesome, it's a cheap one. Definitely pick this up real quick. Quick 1,500. So that'll probably add like, I don't know, 200 to 300 to my pull-in value. Maybe it'll add more, who knows? I mean, I got much of a choice, you know. I'm buying all these freaking shops regardless. Maybe the other one was only 1,000 and not 10,000. I don't know. A guillotine permanente. Let me get the next one. Right down the street, 400 meters. But yeah, so the city, and they definitely they were not joking when they said we are, you know, drastically increasing the number of people in the world. Like, at some points it's almost overbearing. Like, there are so many freaking people in the streets. There's been times where, like, I remember there was one mission that I was like just booking it, chasing after somebody, and I saw people like phasing in and out as I was running, and it wasn't a rift mission. In case anyone's like, oh no, Cowboy, that's the rift. No, trust me, it was not the rift. I know what the rifts are. This was not a rift. This was just the Xbox One being unable to handle how fast the game wanted to load people into the city, because the number of people it really is astounding. Like, it is. Like this right now, this is probably the least populated street I have ever seen in the game. Like, you go to the main squares and it is just people, 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 people. Like, there are so many freaking people. And on top of that, the guards don't care at all, man. You piss off some guards and try to dip into a crowd, and they are pulling out their rifles and they are shooting. They don't care if you're running through peasants. They don't care if people are holding babies. They're there to kill you. And, like, see, look at this right now, man. Look, the street is freaking packed. It is just packed with people. Like, please get out of my way. You are all impeding my ability to get to my objective. So we're going to get this other social house. I'm trying to think anything else that I want to mention, since this has kind of turned into like a mini review as I free roam around. And okay, so that other one was 10,000 because this is a 10,000. Alright, any other ones I could pick up? There's this one, which I wonder how close that is to a fast travel. Closest to you, probably up here. We can grab that other fast travel while we're up there. We'll head over and hit this instead. Gotta wait for that money to start coming in and pick up all these social clubs. Get the big money rolling in. Be like 10,000 every grab. But of course we are already at yeah, we're like 28 minutes on the PVR, so just to reiterate, guys, just because I have started streaming on Twitch a lot, and I've tried to also make that, I mean, it's obviously not as big of a focus as YouTube is currently, but I do want, I mean, I really enjoy streaming on Twitch, you know, because, like, when it comes to the videos, there's only so much you can do in terms of fan interaction. Like, you know, yeah, I'm pretty vigilant about replying to comments and getting back to people and answering any questions that are asked, but, you know, when you're live streaming, it's a whole different level of fan interaction and getting to talk to people and pulling them in for co-op and stuff like that. So for those that are curious, primarily I stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, which I live in Nashville, so that's 5 p.m. Central Time. Fridays is always the drunk through, so if you've ever been curious about that and wanted to catch the drunk through live, stop on by Friday and you'll see that. Pretty much exclusive to AC Unity for quite a while. I mean, there's going to be that, there's going to be some Far Cry 4 on Wednesdays for sure, and then when Evolve gets out, it's going to be a very big stream with viewers thing on Wednesdays. But, you know, either way, if you haven't ever caught the stream before, it's just twitch.tv/FightinCowboy. Anytime I am streaming, so I know sometimes I'll do something out of the hours, I'll stream, you know, I'll just start something up on a Saturday or a Sunday. It should put an annotation across all my videos, so I don't know if that applies to mobile as well, but I know if you're watching the videos, you should get a little prompt that says, like, I'm streaming right now on twitch.tv, and you just click the little annotation, it'll shoot you straight over to the channel. So Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the 30 minutes of story spoiler-free free roam. Obviously, the city is pretty damn vast this time around. I think we did a good amount of work grabbing some of the houses and getting some of the points. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more points we still have to unlock. And like I said, I do want to save some content for the stream. So either way, thanks for coming by, guys. Hope you enjoyed the free roam video, and make sure to tune in to the live streams for more. So with that being said, we'll catch you guys then.